Welcome back. 20 days have passed since voters overwhelmingly approved Houston firefighters' request for pay parity with their fellow first responders, Houston Police. The firefighter union has offered to return to the bargaining table and negotiate a phased-in salary increase as a means of preserving jobs. With the support of the Houston Chronicle editorial page, Mayor Sylvester Turner appears intent on keeping his pledge to lay off hundreds of workers in order to fund the voters' mandate. The Chronicle editorial writers say the time for negotiation is past, and that's a quote, and that gullible voters were charmed by persuasive firefighters, and we all must resign ourselves to suffering the consequences. But consider this. Here is what City Controller Chris Brown, Houston's financial watchdog, told me back in October and stands by today.
Eventually, we're going to end up back at the bargaining table and get everyone to agree to something that not only is fair for the firefighters, because they do deserve a raise, but also something that the city taxpayers can afford and that is sustainable in the long run.
Bill King, what do you think of all this?
I was stunned by the editorial. You know, I served on the editorial board for 5 years, and the editorial board I was on would have never written this kind of editorial. You know, first of all, it was condescending, disrespectful, and insulting to the 290,000 people that voted for Prop B. But it also promotes a completely false narrative, which is that, well, now that the firefighters have seen how bad their deal was, they're crawling back and begging to negotiate. That's not at all what happened. From day one, the firefighters said over and over, if this passes, we'll sit down and work out some plan to stage this over time. And then some things like they said, like, you know, that the firefighters wrote the ballot language. Absolutely false. City council writes the ballot language. In fact, the county clerk didn't like this big long ballot and tried to get the city to sit down with the firefighters to come up with a shorter ballot, and the city refused to meet. And this deal about there's a legal controversy about whether you can do this or not, I mean, they talked to 6 or 7 labor lawyers. Everyone said, of course this can be done. And so they go out and find a real estate law professor who has 0 experience. And then they find another law professor who is a Turner supporter and campaign contributor to cite as their legal experts. It was really, I was very, very disappointed.
Tomaro Bell, I want to get your take on this.
Look, many of you all know, prior to this ever coming to a vote, months before it ever came out on the ballot, I was saying that I believed in the firefighters' right to get their petition heard before the public. But I also said simultaneously, hey, look, this could really lead to a bunch of layoffs in the services, and the most vulnerable populations will be the first cut. That being said, hell yeah, we lost, okay? It's over. The citizens decided. A majority of minorities were the supporters behind this. I can't stand the damn Chronicle, no way. So it don't surprise me what they say. And I agree with Bill to say the condescending, gullible public voted for this. That same gullible, charming public is the one that put everybody in that horseshoe in office. So watch your language. I said before you lose some more subscriptions. Now, back to my point. I do believe that they can go, and they know, back to the drawing board. This next year, 2019, is the long-awaited electoral city council elections. Pay attention, Houston, because no one should be punished right now for something that has not occurred. And the fact that you have a way out, I don't care who you are. If you're a real game changer, you never ever look out and ignore your way out.
Gotta leave it there. Still ahead, despite overwhelming evidence, President Trump refuses to punish the Saudis for killing Jamal Khashoggi. We ask, is it now open season on Voices of Dissent? Stay with us.